Are you ready to learn? Because my super experienced guests are ready to share some really valuable information. Make sure and listen all the way to the end to get help and support. So let's start with the best audio experience.
How to create a digital marketing strategy. It's very important because most projects fail, most companies can't get organic reach. According to Ahrefs, 91% of all companies can't do it because of so generic strategies, because they just analyze their competitors and don't provide something new, don't try to spend more time to create the right strategy. That's why I'm so excited to discuss this topic with EJ Saunders. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, we chatted a little bit about this day. It's Friday. Probably you can listen this episode in another day, but we have this positive mindset. But anyway, I wish anyone to love each moment, each day, because I remember in school, I hated Monday. Right now, I love Monday as well. I love all days, but I know that Friday, I have special feeling because of this day. Okay, AJ, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about digital marketing strategy.
Yeah, so my name's EJ. I've been in the digital marketing space since around 2008. So I'm cresting on the 15-year mark. I kind of started with SEO, actually. So SEO and web development is kind of the basis of what I did. I own Blaze Digital Solutions. We serve the outdoor community mainly with digital marketing, and we're kind of just the bolt-on marketing team. So creating the strategy is really like the first component of what we do and how we kind of operate.
Nice. Awesome. It's interesting. I started my online journey in digital marketing in 2008 as well. But at that time, I didn't know what digital marketing means because I started my project and I was looking for ways how to get sales, how to get traffic, and I didn't know anything about that. I found the best way how you can go ahead. You need to do yourself something. It doesn't mean that you need to be an expert because I failed many times to hire some specialists without understanding what they do. I think it doesn't work. And I usually even tell my clients, you need to understand SEO because I get much better results with someone who understands SEO. If they understand, we can cooperate like a cohesive team. But if you think that SEOs are magicians, can have some secrets, no, we have no any secrets. We just do something better than competitors can do, and we can go ahead like a cohesive team. And Jay, tell about digital marketing strategy. I'm interested how to create the right one because digital marketing is huge. We have many different directions: SEO, paid marketing, social media, referrals, I don't know, webinars, a lot. So can you tell how to find the right channel and create the right strategy?
Yeah, so it all kind of starts, we have to start at the very ground floor, right? We have to look at like, what's the end goal first? So what does your offer look like? What is the purpose of the traffic to begin with, right? We'll just say like an e-commerce company, they have some kind of widget that they're trying to sell. Cool. Well, let's kind of start with the end in mind here. What do we need to do to be able to get this sell? We have to have a compelling message, right? So we have to develop that core message for that. Like, why are people going to want to buy it in the first place? So we develop that transformation, the piece of communication that kind of explains the transformation from before to after, the before state to the after state. That's going to be the first real component to develop, because at the end of the day, like, traffic is traffic. You're going to be able to drive traffic from Facebook, from Google, from TikTok, from, anywhere, right? But having the right message is going to be probably the most important thing, and explaining that transformation from before to the after state is going to be where the bulk and the basis of all the strategy is going to be. So once we have that end goal and we have that communication piece, then it just is backwards planning from there. So we take, okay, well, what do we need to do to get people to buy it? Well, in the process, we probably want to have people subscribe to stuff, right? So we want to be able to have a way to be able to at least grab their contact information so we can follow up with them. So it's like, okay, well, what do we need to offer again that's going to directly relate to our core offer, but is a little piece just to get their contact information, right? And then the next step before that is like, how do we get people to engage? Well, this is where SEO actually comes in huge, because then we can start providing content and value way before we actually present an offer to them. So we can kind of build that trust and authority before we even ask for anything.
Nice. Okay, let's talk about how to choose the right keywords. You know, it's interesting. Once I spoke with a webmaster who lost 400,000 traffic a month. It's a lot. But he didn't lose any sales. So he got a lot of traffic, but this traffic didn't sell his products. So it's, and I see it's a big issue. When webmasters see some keywords with high volume and they think, wow, I want to get this traffic. Like, I don't know, let's imagine SEO. In the first stage, it's hard. It's really hard to get these keywords because you need to compete with Moz, Ahrefs, Neil Patel, many other great well-known brands. In the second, it doesn't mean that you can sell by having these keywords, because if you sell SEO services, why you need to have SEO in the top 10? So you can just get traffic that didn't convert. Can you tell how to choose the right keywords? Because it's a big issue when people open keyword research tools and don't understand how to choose the right keywords that will provide sales, not traffic.
Yeah. One of my favorite ways is actually to use Google AdWords, because then we can run traffic against all sorts of stuff. But the big thing is understanding keywords that are intent-based versus, so it's like, where are they at in their path? Is this a purchase-based keyword? Is this an intent-based keywords on the researching for a purchase? All of those things. So I actually have a client that he wanted to rank for backpacking. And, he sells some stuff that does relate to backpacking. But in that word, I was like, this doesn't, it's not only an extremely competitive keyword. So it's going to take us years and years to probably get there in the first place. And that's not what people are going to be buying off of. Right. And so, but what we did is we kind of cultivated, first off, we were like, okay, we need to build a content strategy that's going to lead people to a purchase. Right. So what do we need to do? We need to look at what questions people are asking. This is one of the best ways. I love this. And I know it's like elementary to a lot of people, but like literally going to like answerthepublic.com, Quora, also asked.com. Those are like my three favorite ones to just get to see what people are even talking about to begin with. And then you can take those keywords, you can create a basic piece of content around that, and then start driving paid traffic to that blog, right? And then you have call to actions throughout that blog. And that is a fantastic way to test if that's going to convert, because people will go to that blog, they'll read it. And if we have a conversion rate based off of that blog, that's going to be a phenomenal way for us to build further into that content library and to start really driving backlinks to that page specifically for that to rank. I've used this strategy for years. And from my experience, I've seen tremendous success with clients with getting, purchases off of their blog posts, which a lot of people think that that's, blogs are just for brochure type stuff. And that's false. I don't look at it like that. I want to build content that's going to bring value, that's going to lead to a purchase. And that's how I go about doing it. And it's been really effective. I mean, when we have blog posts that are converting between 3 to like 7-8%, has to tell you something, and when you start getting free organic traffic to that page, that's even better, because then it's like, wow, we're expanding. And two, answering those questions, you're likely going to start ranking for a plethora of different keywords, not just the one main keyword. And that's also something to like pay attention to, all the tertiary and secondary keywords that you're going to build by just providing good, valuable, actionable content for people. That's based around questions, inquiry of people are actively going into Google and searching for that specific question. If you can provide value that way, they're going to trust you a lot more to make a purchase anyways. So it really is just about building authority with your content and providing the next step, right? A logical sequence to provide the next step.
Nice. You mentioned a lot of trust, authority. I usually count how many times you can tell some words, but I lost my track. Anyway, I'm interested about this parameter EEAT: expertise, experience, authority, trust. Can you tell how it's important to optimize with this parameter? We have no special score, even keyword difficulty. Yeah, Google denies this metric, but SEOs check out keyword difficulty. I usually consider this parameter because I know some SEO can ignore it. That's okay, it works for them, but I usually consider, for example, if I have 2 keywords, my resources are limited to promote or create content for different pages, I choose pages that have less keyword difficulty because I know the chance to get results is much higher. But anyway, I agree, it's just estimation. Sometimes you can get ranking positions with high keyword difficulty. I don't know why, but probably content is better. But I'm interested about EEAT. You mentioned about getting trust, authority. Can you tell how to measure EEAT from specific website and how to improve this parameter?
So domain authority is kind of would be a way to track that, right? This is a way that SEMrush and like even Google to some degree has like a domain authority score from 0 to 100. And that really is kind of the true measure for that. But the amount of content, the amount of times you're actually posting on the site, but the amount of backlinks that you get, the amount of high authority backlinks that you get that are achieved through organic means, so for example, like this podcast, you put a link over to my website, from this post or from this blog, that is going to give me a backlink. It's going to give me some kind of increase in authority. I like to explain it to clients where, in the United States, we have election cycles every couple of years. And what's the one thing that every politician tries to do? They try to get endorsements from other people. Mm-hmm. And that's basically just saying like, hey, I'm an authority in this for this specific group of people. And I'm going to endorse this candidate for Congress or for president or for whatever. And so that's going to then excite and cultivate those people to be like, oh, okay, they're going to have now a perceived authority over to that politician because of that one backlink, so to speak, right, to it. And so I feel like that's like one of the best ways to kind of imagine like how all that works, but really is like you need to get the highest quality votes for your site, for your content. So, but you got to be putting great content out there to begin with. And the way that you write your content is also a way that it affects your domain authority. It's not just like putting blabber on the site, and it's not all just about bringing backlinks, although backlinks is a big part of it. It's about how in depth do you go, like how authoritative is the content, at its core. So when you go and answer a question, for example, and you give a 2,000 word explanation that goes into all different types of things, that's a very in-depth thing. And you're going to start using you're going to start using regular verbiage and words that are synonymous to other things. And you're going to be able to start using a lot of like industry specific terms in certain circumstances. And that builds that authority just at the core of the content. And then when you start bringing backlinks and things like that, that's going to increase that domain authority, which is going to rank you higher. And, the higher you rank in Google that's Google's way of saying this is high authority content. So it automatically, when people see that, they're going to trust it a lot more than mm-hmm. It was just like a subconscious thing that just mm-hmm. happens. So.
Yeah, nice. I want to ask more about authority. We use press releases. We send these press releases each week, and sometimes we got real authoritative websites like in the previous week we got placement on New York Times. Yeah, it's a good placement. But it's interesting. Ahrefs or most SEMrush don't see this backlink because it's no follow and it's hidden on this subscription base. So you need to pay for subscription, then you can find this backlink. What do you think Google considers such backlinks? Because I see people pay so much attention to do follow links that bring real weight, but Forbes, Wikipedia, many other websites have no follow links. They don't share this weight. What do you think about such backlinks?
Google still sees it. And I promise you, they do follow those links, but they might not use it as an indexing measure. But there's a difference too about some of these backlinks. There's two different types, right? So we have like our follow, where it's like, this is like, we're going to go 100%. And then there's the no follow, but those can be treated much like citations. Citations are just basically just mentions on the site or about your name, about whatever. So long as that link is keyword themed how you want it to appear. So if it's a no follow link, I would probably put it as a brand. Put your brand name, make sure the anchor text is your brand name so that you get the proper citation for that. But they do follow that. There's, I mean, you can look, that's what Google Alerts is all about, right? Anytime a certain keyword or something is mentioned, it can send you an alert. So that is like proof that, yes, that stuff does get followed, but we just have to treat it on how it is. So it may not be a full backlink or count that way, so to speak, in a ranking algorithm, but you want to make sure that the citation is there, because the more times just the citations happen, you're going to have authority. The more times your name is out there, more time people are seeing that, it's going to build authority.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I agree. I think it's not even about no follow or do follow. It means that you can get link from New York Times, and this resource has a loyal audience, big audience, and you can get relevant traffic. It's not only about ranking in Google, it's more about traffic. So if you can get traffic from this backlink, why not? That's good, to have it. Okay, let's get back to content strategy. I'm interested about how you choose priorities. For example, you made keyword research, have a bunch of keywords, as many others can do. They usually choose like 100 keywords, 1,000 keywords, group them. But anyway, most companies have limited resources. For example, for my personal website, I try to cooperate with a few freelancers. Some of them can publish on Search Engine Journal, many other websites, but I decided to stop this cooperation because, I can feel that this content was written like by heart, with passion, probably because of money. I don't know, many other things. But anyway, companies have limited resources. I have two hands, so I usually write myself. But I have a bunch of keywords, topics that I want to share with my audience. So I usually choose priorities. I understand I can't write about everything, but Brian Dean doesn't write about anything. He can submit one post a month when he had backlinks. Today, I don't know about exploding topics. Anyway, can you tell how to choose the right priorities if you have a huge list of keywords and you need to know what kind of keywords you can take in the first month, second, and so on?
Yeah, so there's a couple different factors that we like to put in the pool, so to speak. And the first factor is going to be the keyword difficulty, right? And then the second one is going to be intent based. So we want to try to rank for things that are not super difficult in the beginning. So if you think of like SEO as kind of like a pyramid, right? So we have the most difficult keywords at the top, and then we have all the other keywords that kind of bling down. So from the top down, your difficulty level is going to decrease further and further and further. So we want to try to build that solid base to to begin with. So we want to go after keywords that are not very difficult to rank for and that have somewhat of a intent base. This is where questions actually come into play. And I've talked a lot about like, doing questions, building content around people's questions and stuff, but that really is like it's such a solid strategy to build good organic traffic from the very beginning. And then from there, then we start driving paid traffic to some of those even bottom level keywords to see what's going to really convert. And then the ones that convert are the ones we're going to really hammer on.
Let's talk about creating helpful pages, or for example, not for traffic. For example, if I write blog posts, I'm going to get traffic, but sometimes I want to earn backlinks. That's okay. When you write a study to acquire backlinks, some pages like About Us, many others don't bring traffic, but you need to have them because customers are looking for learning them, and it can help with EEAT as well. So can you tell how it's important, or of course, you can reply to this question, it depends. You can, but anyway, I want to ask about that. How to divide your strategy? For example, I can write like 50% of my resources lead to blog, 50% to e-commerce pages, or like 25 to e-commerce, 25 to helpful pages. Can you help my audience, because I often get this question, how to divide it? For example, 25% for case studies, 25 for blog posts. Any insights about that?
I actually don't pay attention to any of that. I think your first priority needs to be providing and writing good content that people can get things out of. So actionable content, right? Tips, right? About, checklist items, right? About, the top 10 ways to get XYZ, right? But then answering people's questions, again, like actionable content first. We have to be providing value first to have any authority, to have any reason why people want to come back to read other things. We have to do that. So yes, like the About Us page, have some good content there, but really focus on like, what do I need to provide that people can take away and actually apply or change something in their life, or it brings some kind of clarity. What do I need to do to do that first? I think that's the most important thing, is just getting good content first. And so that's kind of, and then I would actually go 100% on that. And then, when we're talking like backlinks, press releases and like all these different things, we can kind of do that over time. But I think just consistently putting out good, solid content on a regular basis is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, consistently. Okay, let's talk about a big issue that almost all my clients have, almost all projects have, to find the right copywriter. It's interesting. 10 years ago, I had a team of copywriters. They wrote about anything. I gave them topics: weight loss, finance, anything. They wrote. Google ranked well. Then things changed many times, by the way, after the first Panda, many other updates. And today I have now a team of copywriters. Google fired all of them. But I have a team of editors who can edit text. I usually search online, and I tried to find on Upwork, on LinkedIn, and I couldn't. I don't know why. In many case studies, people can tell you can find great writers. Probably you can, I don't know, but I couldn't. And my way is to search for bloggers who write about this topic. I reach out to them. Most of them ignore me, but some of them wanna get extra money. We agree a good price, and it works. Can you tell your way how to find a great copywriter who can create something new, valuable? Because it's interesting. I found that even great copywriters with proven record, I cooperate with some of them, can write for Forbes, big websites, but even they use AI, to create generic content. It's problem today. It's issue. So I even found a few tools that can understand it's AI written content or human content. So I usually tell them, please don't do it. Okay, I found one way, one time. It's better to create something new. I'm not interested to get content, even if it's great grammar. It's not new. People don't need it. Google won't rank this because many other websites can have it. So can you tell how to find writers who can write great content?
Yeah, it's a very it can be a real struggle. I've had and I've dealt with a lot of different writers. So like in the outdoor space specifically, you have to be able to speak the language for people to, people pick up on it real quick of like, oh, this is just crap, or if it's really good, it's like, wow, these guys really know what they're talking about. And so for me, it was because I do focus like in the outdoor space. So I have started to network through different associations. So like the POMA Association, with the Professional Outdoor Media Association, to where I've networked with some people there. And I've networked with other PR agencies that are in the industry, and they have a host of writers that work there. And so I think one way is to really like automobiles, for example. Like I'm pretty sure there's an auto association, like getting involved in that community to find good people that are writers or like to write about that kind of stuff. And then editing is another big thing. So I think the best content generally comes straight from the horse's mouth. So whoever owns the business, whoever owns the the website or whatever, I think they are probably the best copywriter, even though they may not know it. And so one way that I like to actually took this from Dennis Yu, who's a phenomenal digital marketer, but he kind of talks about utilizing tools, right? So he'll actually tell people to record a video and then take that, transcribe it, take the transcription, and then put that into an AI machine to then edit and restructure it into a blog post. Doing it that way, using tools, because editors are going to do the same thing, but as long as you're providing that content and the initial part of that, like the heavy lifting, right? So that the editing can be done. I think the best way for people to create content is just to do it themselves on that front. But utilizing voice memos, utilizing video and all that kind of stuff is probably going to be the best way, because then you can just kind of tell it the way that you perceive it. And the way you perceive something is going to be different the way that I perceive something. So I'm going to be able to explain it in a different way than you're going to be able to explain it, which that's where the value lies in a lot of situations, because you're going to say it in a way that other people are going to understand way better than if I was to say it in a similar way, but just my way, and they're not going to get it. You know what I mean? So like your unique perspective on any topic is the best way to really push that. But utilizing tools are like, I wouldn't be afraid of using the AI. AI is here to stay. It's been around for actually a long time. Bard, Google, it's funny. I got into Bard, and I asked Bard, like, Bard is Google's AI tool that people are going to be using. So just so that like everybody is aware that Google is giving their own AI tools for people to use to create content and create all these different things, right? I just asked it, like, what are the best practices for SEO according to Google? And it listed them out. It actually said backlinks are links from web. And this was one of the things, that backlinks are pretty much like one of the best ways to get high ranking in Google. That's paraphrasing it, but that was kind of like, Google is the one who actually put that up, or Google's tool, right? And so I would just kind of keep that in mind. Like, these tools are here for us to use, but we have to be the experts first so that we can guide that tool to expand or to restructure that to say it in a more clear way or a better way, or add some additional things that we may not have thought of originally. It's just it's the way that the world kind of works right now.
Yeah, you unhided my secrets. You just share all my secrets, because I usually write myself and ask ChatGPT, please edit all this text, make it friendly, simple, consumable, many other things. And it's interesting when you write yourself and edit on ChatGPT. I tested on these AI detector tools. They didn't see any AI written content. So
Yep.
I don't know how these tools work, but anyway, that's good way, to edit. I edited a few texts and sent them to proofreaders to ask their estimation, opinion, and they replied to me, yeah, that's good, not bad. They use different ways, but they like the stuff. So yeah, if you want to save money with editing, why not? You can use ChatGPT, and I use Viv translation as well. So I translated text to Russian and Ukrainian language, because I know these languages, and I found, yeah, that's great, high quality translation. I can't tell how much I can save just by translating text, because I spend a lot. Right now, I don't do it. Just spend my time, to translate this text, because quality is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm not against AI tools, but I'm against of overusing AI tools. When people generate everything, of course you need to spend time, to share something new, some data, and it's better to write yourself and then ask. For example, if I can't build my thoughts, I don't know, construct the sentence, I can ask, please help me, take this mess, give me the right sentence or paragraph. And yeah, this tool works well. I love it. Yeah. Ajay, I have the question about things that I usually do every single day. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I keep doing them. But I remember when Mark Zuckerberg said about taking a risk, he told, the biggest risk is not to take the risk. So we need to experiment, we need to search. And I think everyone starts from generic strategies. Then during some time after learning, experimenting, you can find what actually will work for you. So you can adapt to these challenges. Anyway, can you tell or list mistakes that webmasters still do by creating their content strategy, marketing strategy, and how to find a much better way?
Yeah, I think the more that you I feel like the more you know about a topic, especially, the more you kind of overanalyze it.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of us kind of fall into, is that perfectionism, or it's, is this going to be good enough to put out there? Or what are people going to think about me when I do put this out there? That was a big thing for me. It actually stopped me from doing a lot of things, especially initially when I started my business. So was like, what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't. It's so long, because especially in the beginning, like, we're going to put out crappy content. Like, the only way to really get better at doing something is to actually do it, and to do it for an extended period of time, and systematically get better and better as you do, the more and more you do it. It's like, how do you get better at push-ups? Well, you do more push-ups. How do I get better at running? Well, you get better, like, you just do more running, get more miles under your belt, right? It's the same thing with SEO or content creation. Like, you just have to consistently be putting stuff out there. I think Russell Brunson was one that said it really, it really impacted me, was like, you're going to suck in the beginning, but if you can commit to just consistently doing it and consistently putting your voice out there and like saying stuff and just risking it, right? Like, it really is like this conversation. Like, I might be completely wrong at a lot of these different things, but I'm still putting it out there because I'm still developing my voice and my message and the things that how I perceive it. And to being able to effectively communicate that is probably one of the most, epic skills, so to speak, that anybody can have. But the only way to get better at it is to just continue to do it and to keep doing it and to get better and better. And so that's probably the biggest mistake is people don't do it long enough. Or they're focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah, I think it's called impatience. Now, when people wanna get overnight success, I don't know how to do it. I have no idea how to do it. Because we always build high expectations. If I start something new, I can imagine, wow, $1 million are coming. I can do it. Oh, competitors suck. I can make much better. Then pitfalls are coming. Many errors are coming, and you understand, no, it takes time, but you need to be patient to go ahead. And you remind me, Mr. Beast, once he shared on interview how he learned YouTube. He told he spent like 10 hours a day watching videos. He didn't watch for the sake of knowing how algorithms work. He doesn't know how this works. But he watched for the sake to know what people want to get, what they like, what they comment, why they love some videos. So he was obsessed by learning why people watch videos. And I think it's a big issue when people try to recognize how Google works, LinkedIn works. I think today it's impossible for a human being to understand how it works because it's complex mechanism. Even some people in Google don't know how it works. They change a lot. Like Google did it 7,000 times, a lot. So but if you care about human being, if you think how to help support human, then you can understand how algorithm works because all algorithms created for a human being to satisfy their intent, to help them. So it's simple. Okay, Ajay, I have the question about another aspect. You mentioned that you started in 2008, and I found that people who work more than 10 years have intuition. And sometimes we can make some decisions because of intuition, not logic. I remember when I read about Jeff Bezos, when the research team brought data about new product, and they asked him, we need more time to learn about this product. And he replied, no, guys, we don't need it. We need to implement, to do it, to analyze and go ahead. It's enough to have this data. And this project called Alexa. Almost all homes have this product today. Can you tell about your intuition? For example, okay, you can consider logic, but sometimes you can feel that it's better to do it like this because of your experience. Any insights about that, how to use intuition, not logic?
I think trusting your own judgment is something that a lot of people kind of fall victim to a little bit, is they second guess themselves. Some of the best leaders, I think the best leaders in the world are really good at just making a decision and moving forward with it to see what happens. But experience and stuff comes with that. And so just an example, I had an ad campaign running, right, to generate leads for my business. And it wasn't working as good as I'd like. So I changed the images and kind of restructured the campaigns a bit, right? And it still wasn't working, but I had this feeling to, hey, let me just turn the video that I turned off. Let me just turn that back on just to see. And so I did that. Why did I do that? Well, I know from experience that video typically does work better than images. And especially if the video is structured in a way to sell and to provide that next step for people, it generally will work a lot better than images will, for the most part, at least in my industry. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn it back on just to see what happens. What happened? Well, leads started coming in, in a bigger way. The biggest thing that I changed though was the way that the audiences were structured. So my targeting completely changed. And so, but providing that now, providing in the new structured audience, providing that video, it performed way better. And so, but just kind of knowing, experience, and just kind of being able to make, when you make a decision, to just do it. So you don't second guess yourself, but you understand kind of like, I don't know, so long as you understand like the basis of what you're doing and the implications and all that kind of stuff. I think it's just being able to like make a decision on it and trusting your gut, like trust your judgment, especially when it comes to your stuff, your business. You're going to have the best insight. And so when you're creating content, when you're creating whatever, like if you do it with the full intent of providing that value, you're going to typically create good stuff, at least good enough stuff to be able to get it out there, to be able to make an impact. And so I think so long as your intentions are right, your gut, your intuition, that spirit inside you is going to be able to say, hey, you should probably try this. You know, that little sweet, small voice. Sometimes it's guided my life in a lot of different arenas. And so you just got to learn to trust it.
Nice. Awesome. And I have the final question about the future of SEO. Once I got a question from my client who told me, we need to do something because SEO is dying. Chatbots will replace SEO, so we have no time. I replied to him, 8 billion searches a day on Google. It's a lot. I don't know what kind of future will be. Probably Chat GPT and other chats will replace SEO. But anyway, it takes time. You can't change habits of 8 billion searches for a moment. It takes time, years, like 5-10 years. We have this time. So I think for me, it's important to start building brand. Because branding can help in SEO, it can help anyway at any marketing channel. But what kind of prediction or forecast you can feel about SEO? What kind of future will be?
I think SEO is going to be much of the same as it always has been. Those who can provide the best content and the most valuable content and those who know how to properly promote it to get the right, good, high quality backlinks are going to win. Whether if that's AI creating the content or if it's a human being creating content, the best content will win. But those things have to like correlate, right? It has to be valuable for a human being to consume and to be able to have actionable stuff against. And so my prediction is it will be much the same. We just have additional tools to be able to make it better for us, so long as we know how to do that. But we have to be providing that content first and then allow the tool to then expand or edit or whatever on that front. So we're still the ones providing that content, and we're just allowing AI to either expand or to make it better, more readable, things like that. But really, the best, most valuable content is going to win. That's my take.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, in our SEO course, we shared a lot about how to create great content, even for human being, not about search engines, because it can help. And, people sometimes don't understand SEO goal. It's not only ranking on Google. SEO can teach how to create great content, how to increase your site speed, how you can get even backlinks that will bring traffic. It's not only about getting backlinks for the sake of having. We discussed a little bit that you can get from New York Times, Forbes, but for the sake of traffic. Yeah, you can get real traffic. So it's more important. And I think the future of SEO, forget about what kind of future will be. Just create great content, consider these insights, and don't try to, of course, we need to optimize for search engines. Don't forget about that. But in the first, human being that we usually teach on our course, and we touch a little bit about EEAT. Lily Ray wrote a checklist on this course about EEAT parameters, like 50 parameters. I recommend to anyone, to check out this checklist. It's great. You can find the same on Google. I don't want to say how much I paid for that, but anyway, we have it on our course that costs much less than than I paid for just one checklist. Okay, EJ, it's a big pleasure to get in my show, to learn from you. Tell our audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn at EJ Saunders, and then at EJ Saunders Official on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay, guys, you can find the links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Love for your valuable insights. So valuable. Guys, thanks a lot for listening and watching us.
Thank you.